All right, as he exits the pits, we have none other than Shawn Hess in here with us. Shawn, dude, you were just out there on course, man. There's a lot of cool things happening. We had just got done talking with Ian Lane. You gave me a little bit of a breakdown, but we're going to dig into it a little bit here. You guys are the first naturally aspirated car in the top, I think, 5 now. I think you guys are probably 4th or 5th.
They said we were actually, when I came in to do that axle swap, they said we were in 2nd at that point.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which we were really excited about. But we, as we talked, the course is really getting rutted. Roots and rocks are starting to get exposed. Guys are starting to get stuck. We're having to blaze trails around them to get around the track. We even had to back up once out there. I mean, it's the track's really getting beat in. It's getting difficult, so it's really becoming attrition.
Well, let me ask you this then. So whenever we race short course out of the West Coast, it's a completely different animal, right? But there's 2 things that remain the same. Some guys like a smooth track. Some guys like a rough track. I always liked it as rough as it could possibly get. How are you?
I'm the same way. The rougher, the better. We tend to do better. Running a machine like the Honda, it's leaps and bounds good at that kind of stuff. Rough terrain, take a beating. One thing good, we don't have to worry about belt issues. So when we get in that deep sand and stuff, we're not having issues with that.
Shift down and go.
That's right. Absolutely.
So we were just talking with Ian, like I said before, about the different track conditions and stuff. We didn't get to talk to him too much about the vision that you guys had. Like, I heard a few drivers. In fact, Hunter Miller, one of his teammates, or one of his guys, was just telling me that, or Ben Fournier was just telling me that Hunter was getting so much moisture on his visor that he had to lift it up and drive with, blind eye, so to speak. And he actually got Visine and was putting Visine in his eyes while he was racing.
So for this race, we opted to go with a motocross style helmet, and we're running roll-offs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Cross and I are both running roll-offs, and we get that from the GNCC days.
Good call.
I was going to start off with my full visor helmet, and we opted to do the roll-offs with a MX style helmet. We can run that in this type of race. And man, it was a good call. We haven't had vision issues to speak of. It's been really good.
How has the strategy been so far? Because you guys come with a plan. You guys want to execute as close to the plan as possible, but it seems like you've had to be a little bit flexible.
We have. Obviously, we wanted Cross to start this year. He jumped out there, did really well.
Fantastic driver to pick,
yes.
By the way.
Oh, yeah. No, Cross is an excellent teammate. He won the championship in the Pro NA this year in short course. So he's an excellent teammate. We've ran together the last several years, and, we've improved our every year ourselves with this plan. But he started this year, got us off to a good pace, picked guys off, handed the car off to me. I believe we were in 4th or 5th. I jump out there, kept pace. And then, like I said, we was running out there one lap before we decided to change anyway. We had an axle issue. We didn't hit anything, just lost the front axle in the rock section. So we come in, we decided to change the axle, fuel, and we went ahead and did a driver change. We did all that in less than 6 minutes. So our pit crew was on it. We did really well.
6 minutes, really, for all that?
All that in less than 6.
That is phenomenal. All right, so if you don't mind, let's watch a little bit of this racing. You kind of give me a rundown of what's happening here, and then we'll get back to how your guys' race is going. So the track has definitely changed quite a bit since the beginning portion of the race. Just a second ago, talking with Ian Lane, it's kind of like slot car racing through here, it seems like. Do you guys have to adjust when your guys are seeing all the track conditions change, and how are these guys doing?
Well, absolutely. When we're running through there and it gets slot car-ish in the I call it railroaded, but slot car is another word for it. When it gets like that, if you come up on lappers or traffic, you want to back off them because they might get stuck in front of you, and, that can mess your day up too.
Yeah.
So you don't want to get right up on them, even though you want to get around them. You don't want to get right up on them. So having, we've had a co-driver in there, and they've been real good on the siren and the new push to pass.
Yeah, the racing track stuff.
The race tracks, that's been working well. But, that's one thing you notice when this track gets like that. But, conditions are doing good right now. They're saying we've got some rain coming, so that could really change a lot of things here in the next few hours as the day progresses. But right now, the track's burnt in good. Everybody's got a good feel of what's out there and what to expect. And you're just trying to pick people off as best and as fast as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see some of these drivers doing that. These guys are going into the wood section, so to speak, right here, together, neck and neck.
Yes.
So when they go through this, like, Is this where you're talking about? Maybe just kind of ease back a little bit?
Well, this section they're on right there is actually a pretty high speed. It feels like a roller coaster. It's a lot of up and down hills right through here. Unfortunately, it's not slot car or railroaded, so you can just book it through here and stay right up on them. When you get to the end of this section, you got just a break in the trees. It gets a little bit slot car-ish, but you got hard left, and you can duck under them and get around them if you're on somebody and need to pass.
So this is something very similar to what we were just talking to Ian Lane about is planning. You just explained it like you were out there sitting in the driver's seat. Like you're thinking like a true racer if you were in that second place position or that second car position right here, because you're already thinking way ahead to be able to execute.
Absolutely. See right here, you got that break in the trees as they're coming into it.
Yeah.
See, this guy needs to jump left and get around that guy right there. But see, you missed an opportunity, so he's following.
Yeah.
Now, maybe they're in a different class or something. It's not a problem. But see, now they're coming into lap traffic.
Yeah, and the car's stuck over there as well.
That's right.
Yeah, so I see exactly what you're saying. So planning all of these things makes a big difference because right there, he could have made 3 seconds.
That's right. Absolutely.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, so how about the you guys do a lot. You guys build products for a lot of side-by-sides.
Sure, yes.
We've been hearing, like Travis Pointer just said, that they already had to replace a steering rack, steering quickener, and now they're on their 3rd DPS. So they've been having a lot of steering issues. I'm assuming that's because they've been pushing it through some of those rocky sections.
Well, anytime the track gets real railroaded or slot cars, you get a lot of feedback in the wheel. Like roots and rocks are getting exposed that weren't there before, so you're getting a lot of feedback, and that steering and drivetrain is taking a lot of strain when you're in that, because you can really push the car hard because you're just locked in there. But it's it doesn't surprise me that they're having issues like that.
Yeah, well, and I feel like that's going to just keep escalating during the day, right? Like we just talked about having every part has its lifespan, right?
That's right.
And some of these cars, maybe even your car, will not shut the motor off for the 12-hour race.
That's right.
That's wild, dude.
Well, they always say the worst thing to do is turn off a running race car, right?
Exactly.
So it's kind of a no-no thing, I guess you'd say, in 12 hours. But yeah, in 12 hours of running, these cars will be running the whole time without a break. And and as these conditions change, this mud will play a factor. We get this mud coming in here with the rain. We may get 200 pounds of weight added onto these cars in mud weight. It's not a It's not uncommon to see. In fact, right now they just said it's raining outside.
Yeah, I was going to say, as you talk about the rain, you can see on our screen here that the camera has a bit of rain on it. Does that change what you're going to do? Because I know you got to get back in the car pretty quick here.
Obviously we'll have to prepare more for rain. We're going to continue running our roll-offs. That's working really well. We'll probably add an extra towel or two in the car to just help wipe things. And obviously if it's muddy, we're going to back off when we're catching those lappers and really capitalize on open areas to pass them so that we're not getting caked with mud, and also keep the weight off the car.
Man, there's so much that goes into it. Like, I applaud you guys for having such an organized program. You do it, like, I want to talk about something else before you get back and you have to get back to the pits, is you do it with your family.
That's
right. You
right.
do it with your friends. You do it as a sport that you love and you enjoy, right? That's what builds all of the structure that we have out here for the Texas 12-hour race.
Everybody out here in the pits is willing to help each other. I see other teams helping other teams constantly, running parts back and forth if somebody doesn't have anything. There's a lot of camaraderie between the drivers. Everybody, it's just a big family. And I do this with my own family, but this is my extended family.
Yep. 100%, man. I love that. The off-road racing is like no other, dude. So, hey, good job. You guys are really kicking butt. We can't wait to see. Dude, 5 hours already into the race, man. We're not even halfway yet. You guys got to.
That's right. There's still a lot of racing to do, too. But right now it's saying we're sitting in fifth, and I like that. We just got off of that pit with that axle change.
Yep.
So for us to be holding on to fifth, I'm really happy with that.
Absolutely. And you guys are the first naturally aspirated car as well.
Absolutely. We got a little bit of a disadvantage over the turbos, but, I like our odds with this naturally aspirated Talon.
Yeah, you guys are doing really well, man. And then thank you also for supporting the live feed and supporting the series and everybody. So
absolutely.
Thank you very much, man.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
All right, so as Shawn gets ready to hit the track again, you guys can use the code to get 12HR Live to get 10% off Hess Racing products at HessMotorsports.com.